Opening night on Montlake 2024 as the Washington Huskies embark upon a new era at the University of Washington. Galvanize this program, galvanize this fan base, galvanize this university in this region.
It is now our time. It is now our moment. We've got to bring the physicality, the violence, every single play. Hey, 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 go!
In this roster of 110 players at the University of Washington, 51 of whom are newcomers.
Back to back! Let's get it!
Everybody in here gets to say, and that's the only thing that matters.
Let's go, dominate three, 1, 2, 3, dominate!
Only 6 games at the greatest setting in college football this season, and the Dogs get one of those rare opportunities to run out of the tunnel moments from right now.
Keep raising the standard all day long. I love you guys, and I'm glad we're all doing this thing together. Bring it up one thing.
This is a team, I can feel the energy down here. This is a team that's ready to remind the college football world what Washington football is all about.
Ball to the belly of Jonah Coleman. He's past the 40, and he's into Weber State territory.
Off Coleman, C. Parks, touchdown. Jonah Coleman into the end zone.
That play blown up in the backfield. And a great forward tackle by Jordan Shaw in space.
Rodgers lobs wide open. It's caught. Touchdown, Decker to grab. First catch of his Husky career goes for 6.
To Giles Jackson. That was a beauty from Rodgers.
Jonah Coleman with a 3-touchdown game for the Huskies.
Williams a pass. Got a guy. Touchdown. Denzel Boston.
One more game ball. You got one more game ball.
You guys know this isn't your coach's first win, but winning is hard. It's his first one with the W.
Good afternoon, everybody. How we doing?
It's a little different from us. We haven't seen that often here. Can you just kind of explain why you like to be down on the field instead of up in the box?
Yeah, I mean, I started up in the booth when I was started early in my career, charting, then doing the personnel. and stuff like that. But getting down on the field, you get to feel the energy a little bit more. There are more distractions down there rather than being up in the booth, but like to feel the energy, like to see, look the guys in the eyes. So yeah, I enjoy it down there.
On the field now that you can use the tablets, did you use much of that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to the tablets, but it was pictures in the past. But now with the video, it's pretty cool.
If you could maybe one at a time after week one here, talk about if there's one area that you want to improve going into week two. If you could pick one, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff you've seen on film, but if you could pick one area you want to see on this week improve.
Yeah, I got this one. Yeah, we need to eliminate negative plays. We had 2 sacks that we didn't have to give up. We had a couple of runs behind the line of scrimmage that are all correctable from the coaching standpoint and fundamental standpoint. So would love to eliminate those. We did a great job protecting the ball, so obviously we need to continue doing that and not put the ball in harm's way. So those will be the huge emphasis this week. Steven?
Yeah, I think for us is just keep building on what we did. It wasn't perfect. The games are never perfect, but keep building. First game of the season, so always a lot to work on in every area: fundamentals, technique, communication, all that stuff. But I think we can get better in every area.
Brennan, you kind of warned us that you might have a rotation last weekend, and I'd never seen anything quite like that with so many changes. I mean, a couple guys played 3 different positions in the game. Had you ever gone through something like that anywhere you've been before?
Yeah, we'd rotate guys in every once in a while. Did it at the last place, and did it at the last place, and did it in Miami a lot. So it's, I mean, if it's jarring, I apologize. But the guys did great. We practiced with the availability to do that. So there was only one time I might have put someone where I normally wouldn't put them, but that was just for one play, for one snap. We won't do that again. Sorry, go ahead and finish your question.
Was it hard to grade them when you shifted them around so many different places?
I mean, Mike Switzer does such a great job with the grading scale. Like it's flawless. So absolutely not.
Both of you guys, after the game, Jed and both the players we talked to said that they wanted to make this the worst game. For both of you, what is the biggest area of improvement that you want to see going into next week?
You want to go first?
Yeah, similar to the question before. I just think, if you set that bar as the worst game of the season, then everything should be better. You want everything to be better. Like I said before, it's not always perfect. That's just football. But you want everything to be better. We got a long way to go. It's good to get out there and practice again after the couple days from the game. But we got a long way to go and got a lot to improve on defensively.
Yeah.
Landon did in his first game back.
Lando did really well. He's probably on the ground one time, which is a great start for, I think he got close to 20 snaps. He did really well first time out.
Coach Belichick, just the way that I saw Alfonso Tupatala lining up all over the place, he was in the backfield quite a bit. If I was to go back and look at some New England Patriot film, is there somebody in the past that you maybe used like you used Alfonso, or is that just kind of a new thing?
No, I mean, I think, I always go back to saying I got to coach identical twins, and I went to Rutgers with Jason and Devin McCourty, and those guys were different players. So every player is their own player. Every player is different. I wouldn't look too much into that. I think Zoe brings a lot to the table, just like a bunch of other guys on our defense. I always go back to that, the fact that 2 identical twins play different positions. And it's hard to tell them apart looking at each other when they're side by side. But no, Zoe's his own player, just like everybody else on our team is. And you got to respect and appreciate what those guys do. So, no, there's no like carbon copies or anything like that, or rubber stamps from what's happened in the past. He's his own player, just like everybody else.
You're obviously used to the helmet communication. I'm curious how you thought the players handled it for this being their first time with it.
Yeah, they were great. I mean, going all the way back to the spring, those guys have done a great job. We've mixed it around. Multiple guys had it in the game. Multiple guys have had it in practice. So those guys did a great job. Easier for me than them, maybe, just because I'm used to it. But no, I was really impressed with how those guys handled it.
When you're
deciding who gets it? Is it based on whoever's lined up at a certain position in a certain package? Is it based on the individual and their capabilities? How do you kind of determine that?
You know, there's a lot that goes into it, I'd say. I've had a lot of different guys do it in the past. Safeties, linebackers are kind of the guys in the forefront, but most importantly, it's what the other players hear in the huddle. And so their opinion matters a lot to me because, you know, the person who hears it from me then has to reiterate it to 10 other guys. So to me, I was big on talking to the other players. Who do you like to hear from? You know, how's the message perceived? Which all those guys did a great job. There was a lot of positive feedback. It kind of went down to the wire. Who's going to have it? But at the end of the day, someone will. We're going to use it if we got it. So I always appreciate the player feedback on that stuff.
When you look at Eastern Michigan, how much tape do you go back and look at Cole Snyder when he was at Buffalo, and how much do you compare that with what he's done in his first week at Eastern Michigan?
Yeah, I just think it's a balance of you know, the individual player and the scheme that they're in. You know, if a guy's really fast, it doesn't matter what scheme he plays in. He's a really fast player. If a quarterback has a good arm, it doesn't matter what scheme he's in. He has a good arm. So how they're utilized in the scheme is relative, and then what the scheme is relative as well.
Steve, I don't know if you had a chance or are planning on looking at last year's Eastern Michigan offense, but it seems like they got better with this quarterback. I think they had more yards against UMass than they did at all last year. Do you see a team that's gotten better on that side of the ball?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, every team's different. You know, me and BC weren't together last year. It doesn't matter where we were. We're a new team here at Washington, so it doesn't really matter. Every team changes year to year, so you can't buy into that too much, looking at the stats too much, but evaluating what you see out there.
Steve, Zach Durfee got his first full game in 2 seasons. He's been waiting a long time to play. How did he turn out in your grading system? Did he play well? I know he had almost a chance with a pick 6.
Yeah. I mean, all the guys, you know, they played hard. They played aggressive. I appreciated how the full defense played. He hasn't played in a longer period of time, but those guys were excited. They were ready to go. Just kind of getting into the groove.
Coach Carroll, just with Quentin going down, you know, what's your level of concern at the tight end position with depth, and how does that change things?
Quentin's a huge feature in our offense, so we'll make some adjustments. We got some great players at the position, though. Coach Palpow's got those guys ready to go. So yeah, you could see some new names and faces out there, but nothing crazy. So we're still excited about the tight end position.
Eastern Michigan's defense, what stands out to them?
Yeah, it's unique, and they're always going to have one more, you call it core player, down lineman or linebacker, than you do quote-unquote blockers. So if you got 11 personnel out there, 1 tight end, 5 linemen, they're always going to have 7 bigs, 4 down, 3 backers. So that's unique in it. A lot of man coverage. So it's a unique opportunity. Excited to go against it and kind of take on this challenge. So it'll be fun.
Belichick, for you, looks like Logan Sagapalu only played 4 snaps. Between him and Javon Parker, how much do you expect them to factor in this coming weekend?
Yeah, you never know how the game's going to play out. Both of those guys doing a great job, but you kind of never know how the game's going to go. But yeah, they're good players. We've talked about everybody who played, didn't play, whether it was as a unit or individually, and those guys know their role. So I'm not concerned about them being ready to go every single game, regardless of how many snaps they play.
Steve, what did Thaddeus Dixon do to put himself into that cornerback conversation since you've been on campus?
I mean, I just think that him and the rest of the guys on the defense, their approach to the game, how much they love the game, how hard they play. He brings a physical skill set just like the other guys do. But I've enjoyed working with all those corners, just like everybody else on the defense. So he's been great. But yeah, Thad's a good kid. He brings some good energy. Talking smack to the offense is good energy for the team, good camaraderie, and he loves his teammates. So it's always in good fun with those guys when we're out at practice, and I appreciate that.
Steve, how different was game day for you, college game day, compared to NFL game day? I don't know if you get a chance to see your family before the games or anything like that when you're in the NFL. Just how much different was it for you when you first came out?
Yeah, those pregame sideline passes were tough to get.
Hot ticket here in Seattle.
So no, it was really cool to see my family. I appreciate that. I was talking to my brother, talking to some other people. It's hard to describe, but it's just different. I'm not trying to dodge a question, but my brother asked me the same thing, and it's like, I don't know, it's just different. So that's the best I could say.
Yeah.
But BC's been in college and the pro, so that's a good.
That's a great question.
I'm gonna bounce that over to him.
Per usual, the Seattle fans are fantastic, and they come out and they can rock the house pretty well. So it was great to have that backing from the home crowd. It was a blast. It reminds you why this is such a great sports town.
I know he only got 2 touches, but how did Adam Muhammad grade out for you?
All the running backs played really, really well. It was cool to see Adam, get loose a little bit right there. We'd like to go check that film one more time, see if he didn't get it or not. No, it's close. No, he did well in his role, he's ready to go ahead and play. He's done a great job in preparation. He's been here with us for a long time now, in comparison. So, he's ready to go.
Now, if you got to see him, how much different is Demond in the game? And how much different is his blocking for a guy who can be so electric and get out of the pocket and stay easier than Will Campbell?
It's kind of the things that we thought, going through spring. We thought this is kind of what he would look like. So that's great that he's been consistent throughout and was able to, kind of play like we thought he could. So it was cool.
Question from the hallway?
Enoch grade out between playing guard and tackle. Does he look like he can play both pretty readily if you needed him?
Yeah, he did great, jumping in there at the tackle spot a little bit. We'll see if we'll do that again this week. I'm kind of up in the air about it. But, we got a lot of good players, so it just means that's the reason why there's more guys out there, because there's good guys and capable players. So, we'll figure it out through the week of practice.
Do you expect to have a similar level of offensive line rotation this week, or will it be more game dependent?
Nah, we'll get game dependent, practice dependent. The central theme of the program is competition, so those guys will be out there competing, and we'll see how it all plays out.
Since Jordan's not here, I can't ask him. He was kind of the culprit that stole Will Dissly from the defensive line over to tight end.
You guys call him Jordan? Okay, gotcha. Pow. Gotcha.
To move over to that position?
I don't know right now. I'm not sure about that. We'll take a look into that and see if that's a possibility. So we're not there yet, though. But I like that thought. We got to coach Will at Seattle. He's a fantastic one.
Disappointed were you to give up the 3 points and miss the shutout?
We got the win. I wasn't disappointed at all.
Dubs.
Those guys play well. Nah.
Dubs.
Yeah. No, you can't be.
If we would have scored 4 and you would have scored 3, I'd have been happy. So dubs.
Because we would have gotten 2 safeties.
I know, good job. We're good at math. Okay, cool.
That's a great one to end it.
out there for the first time since that Apple Cup over a year ago. What did that mean to you?
Oh, it meant a lot. I mean, shoot, just thinking about this time last year, I was in crutches, couldn't even walk and stuff. So everything I'm doing right now is really just an accomplishment. It felt good being out there. I'm just grateful.
It felt good to play that good. It always feels good to, show Husky Nation that, you feel me, the DBs is back where we're supposed to be. But honestly, not too excited. We did what we were supposed to do.
When did you find out you were starting?
Probably around a week before the first game.
Yeah, he said, I've been telling people since the end of last season to this game, you may be the most improved player on the team. What's the difference?
I honestly just say my maturity as a man, just, going about my business as a pro every day. It obviously makes it easier to just develop throughout the offseason, just taking care of your business every day.
What was your approach to this offseason? What did you want to get better at?
Everything, man. I had a very cerebral approach. I really wanted to work on my flexibility and my core. I felt like my ball skills and my coverage was good, but just working on my speed, my core, and my flexibility for the most part.
You're a pretty physical player. How do you balance, and how have you gotten better balancing that fine line between using your physicality and not getting penalized for it?
Just trusting my technique, knowing when to use certain techniques and when not to. That all comes down to my discipline, same discipline I kept and I was working on this offseason.
What was the biggest difference from the junior college level of the game to this when you first got here last year?
The lineman. I feel like on the outsides, it wasn't too much big of a difference.
Cam, we talked about BC about a lot of changes in the offensive line. How many guys got playing time, moved around different positions? What did you see from your perspective as to how that unit performed on Saturday?
Oh yeah, they performed exceptionally well. It's always good having a good set of guys. You can rotate in and keep a guy fresh and stuff. And we have a lot of young guys, and they showed that the lights weren't too bright on Saturday. And so, that's always good, knowing you have good guys up front, passing game, running game. Really, things don't move without the O-line. So, they showed out on Saturday and looked really well.
Thaddeus, a lot of guys, I think, feel like you guys have been overlooked this year because you only had 1 or 2 starters coming back, and the team just changed overnight. But today you guys are 25th in the coaches poll. Any reaction to that? That's like a little respect.
Nah. We're used to being overlooked, so you just take it 1 week at a time. We always gonna be the underdogs, so we got to keep proving people wrong.
For both of you guys, I'm wondering about the process pre-play now, where you're getting the call from somebody who's getting it over their helmet rather than looking to the sideline, and just kind of what it's like and what the differences are and how you felt that went on Saturday.
I would say on the offensive side, it makes things just a little bit more smooth. Remember last year we was looking at the cars, had to look to the sideline every play and stuff. So just having that mic in the helmet gets the calls in a lot quicker and a lot easier.
On the defensive side, I feel like I got a love-hate relationship with it because now that it's no signs, I play corner, so I got to really run into the huddle and get the call. But for the most part, we getting the calls in very early so we can make our checks and know what to dial up.
Talk a little bit about just the tandem of you and Jonah. You're both big, but you're a different type of big. When you come into the game, how does that change things and maybe how you guys kind of feed off each other?
Yeah, it's a good 1-2 punch. I feel like we complement each other well. But one thing I feel like we both pride ourselves on is that we could do just about everything in the backfield. I know they like to throw me the ball a lot just off of my frame and stuff, but Jonah has great hands as well. And one thing that can't get overlooked is just how talented the room is in general. It's not just me and Jonah. It's, as you guys seen, Adam Muhammad's good. You guys will see flashes of Jordan too, Sam and Dan. We all can, have a role in this offense. So, that's one of the things we're really excited about.
What's it been like working with John Richardson?
Man, it's been great. It's been great. He's hard on us, but he really wants the best for us. He's keen in on just details and the little things. We all got talent in our room, but the talent really, you can't make the most of your talent if you're not keen in on the details. So, man, it's been great working with him, man. I've honestly felt myself grow as a player a lot this offseason.
You mentioned bringing back kind of the DBU mindset and everything like that. When Marcus came to you guys in the spring or at the spring game, did he talk to you guys at all before? Because I know he was kind of that guy that was, he obviously gave you guys the jacket saying, you know, we ain't done yet sort of thing.
Yeah.
Did he talk to you guys at all in the spring when he came out?
I had chopped it up with him. I don't think he had the opportunity to talk to the whole group, but you know, Marcus, he always showing love, man. He be tapped in with us, so great dude.
That is Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor, Bobby Wagner were on the sidelines. Did you get a chance to talk to them at all?
Nah, I didn't. I didn't even know they were at the game until like yesterday. I was so locked in, like it didn't even cross my mind.
The coordinators were in here, and Steve Belichick mentioned how you like to talk smack to the offense. Brennan Carroll acknowledged that. Do you carry that over into the game? Do you talk to the opponents on Saturday?
Not too much. I try to steer clear of talking during the game. I don't want to get no penalties, but you know, if I make a good play, I'm gonna let him hear it for sure.
Cam, have you been on the other side of Thad's talking during practice, and if so, what's that like?
Nah, he hasn't said nothing to me. I do hear him chipping away though and stuff, but I mean, that's just the competitive nature. You know, we're all saying things. You know, we make a good play. You want to let the other side of the ball hear it, so you're just having fun out there.
Thad, what stands out to you from the initial film that you've seen of Eastern Michigan?
Their splits. The quarterback, he actually has a nice touch on his ball, but he does like to loft them. But they love like wide splits for some reason. I don't know, but that's what stands out to me the most.
Cam, I guess for you, what stands out? They have a pretty good defensive front, at least. They had, I think, 6 sacks in their opener. What stands out about their defense?
Yeah, they have a solid defense. I feel like they're going to be a little bit more bigger than last opponent and stuff, but their defense isn't too complicated, so we're really just looking forward to attacking them this week.
Thad, what was it like being in that competition with Effie and EJ during the spring and into the fall?
I feel like we was all making each other better. You know, we were all competing, but at the same time, we was just all getting better. You know, we all have a lot of common and the same goals, so, you know, just buying into what Jay Rich was teaching and going out into practice and just, you feel me, trying our best to do what he was asking. You know, it was good. It was great. I feel like we pushed each other a lot, and, man, we set up to have a real good year in the corner room.
How big of a deal was it to be the guy who got the starting nod in week 1?
To me, I mean, obviously the competitor in me, you know, you always want to start, but, you know, it wasn't too big a deal. We all going to get our turn. We all going to make plays. So, you know, just being keen in on the details, man, trying to lock it in, week out, stay consistent.
Thaddeus, just in the second half, they weren't able to do much offensively the entire game. As a corner, do you kind of sense frustration from a defense, frustration at not being able to throw the ball? Do you sense that at all?
Yeah, you could tell. Body language is the main factor. I feel like coming out into the second half, you know, we were kind of going against a defeated team. You know, just the body language coming out the huddles, you know, you pretty much knew that they had gave up on the game.
Dad, did you have any thoughts about entering the portal before the season, and if so, what kind of convinced you to stay?
I didn't. I never once thought about entering the portal because I didn't come here for the coaches. I came here for the culture. I feel like so many DBs have came out of Washington. It's not a coach that's going to make or break my decision or, you know, what I wanted to be a part of. So I just really wanted to be a part of the great DBs, so I came out of here and went to go play in the NFL.
Which is the verse that kind of caught your eye? Does it go back to Desmond, or how far does it go back to you for UWBs?
I'll probably say a couple years. Probably like, Desmond King. Desmond Trufant, my fault. It goes back pretty bad. Probably like 2014, I'll probably say, is when I really started watching, you know, UW football.
One play from this past game, whether you were on the field or not, is there one play that just really sticks out to you?
I'll say Decker DeGraff's touchdown. You know, count on him in that moment. I think not too many people, even himself, expected to get that play. Unfortunately, Q went down, but just him stepping up and scoring, you know, that was really a key thing. Got our momentum going, and you know, showed that the lights weren't too bright for him. He was ready for his moment. When his number was called, he made a play. So it was pretty exciting seeing him going out there and doing his thing.
How would you describe, Cam, your role in this offense? You had, I think, 5 touches, but you also had 3 or 4 catches.
Yeah.
What was the message Scotty gave to you and Paul Camp about what your role was going to be, knowing how important Jonah can be to the team?
Yeah, I mean, we're taking it a week at a time. You know, going into last week, you know, pretty much the main thing was just getting me going. Obviously, it's been a year, so, you know, they weren't going to put too much of a load on me. But, yeah, every week it's going to, you know, change. You know, like I said, I could do anything. You know, I can catch the ball, block, run, and stuff. So I would say that's pretty much my role in this offense.
Were you surprised the way they shuffled the line? Just some guys played 3 different positions during the game, and I'd never seen that before. I mean, you've seen guys come in and sub in, but guys just almost, it's like a fire drill, taking positions.
Yeah.
Was that different for you?
It wasn't too surprising. You know, you can see it a little bit in fall camp. People are rotating around, but it just goes to show how versatile our guys are, and you know that's what you want to see in alignment. Whether it's pulling, whether it's run blocking, pass blocking, I'm confident that whoever's in, you know, they can get the job done.
Versatile, Thad, do you feel your role is more versatile? Because it looked like you played, according to PFF, every snap, every position but D-line in the opener. Do you feel like this defense has made you more versatile or asked you to be more versatile?
Not asked me to be more versatile, but just asked me to be a football player. You know, lining up in different spots. Same thing you're going to do on Sundays. Same thing we did on Friday nights. Like, you know, just being a football player, being able to line up in the post, in the slot. I feel like this defense is just keen on the players. You know, it's a player-run defense, so, yeah.
Yeah, when we talked to Coach Carroll just now about Eastern, he said that there's always going to be one more defender than they're going to have blockers. How does that kind of change your expectations of running back, knowing that like you're more likely to have to make a guy miss?
I'll say it doesn't change much. That's kind of always our motto, playing running back. That's our job description. You know, never get tackled by the first guy. Really just not try to get tackled in general and stuff. So nothing changes with this game plan. You know, we're expected to make any guy miss, the first guy miss. So if there's one in the hole, that's on us.
Coach Fish is pretty well versed that Eastern Michigan was kind of a launching pad for DeBoer and Grubb. You guys aware of that? That, you know, they kind of went to the FBS or the Power 5 level from there, got their start kind of.
Oh, no, I wasn't aware of that. I mean, obviously I know they came from Fresno before here and stuff, but, you know, I wasn't aware of Eastern Michigan. Oh, okay.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Appreciate you, guys.
Appreciate y'all.